So I just saw the weirdest thing and I want to talk about it. Okay, I just saw a video on Boogie and it was a crypto scam that he supposedly did with some fatty coin. I think it's called fatty coin. But apparently he has been scamming people for 2 years with cancer coin. Because apparently this dude has cancer, but he's not willing to prove that he has cancer. And here's the thing. I don't want Boogie to have cancer. I don't want anything bad to happen to Boogie, even if it's lying or whatever, you know. Even if he's scamming people, I'm not falling for that stupid scam. But, you know, I don't want anything bad to happen. It's not like I want the guy to have cancer. Now, here's the funny thing. Boogie refuses to show people his medical records. Because I was just watching the Long Cow podcast, and all the guys there were grilling him about, you know, you could just prove that you actually have cancer if you just showed your medical records. And Boogie refuses to do that. He said in the podcast that he'd rather leave the internet, basically become a homeless man without any income, than to show his medical records. This is as he says, the last shred of privacy he wants to maintain. Like it's the last shred of decency that this guy has. Which obviously, if you know Boogie, you know that he's full of it. Because this guy is a guy that overshares everything about his life. To the point, unprompted. He doesn't have to share anything about his life. If you see his documentary, at one point he says that, you know, he spent thousands of dollars of hookers on high class escorts, thousands of dollars, dude. He wasted all most of his money living out his dreams to be with girls that were way out of his league, so he would have to pay for them. When I saw that in the documentary, I was like, okay, that's kind of base, you know. I get it, bro. So here's the thing. There's been people like Nicholas Diorio and recently Destiny that have been questioning if you know, Boogie really does have cancer, because he was diagnosed. Listen, I'm gonna butcher this, but I'm gonna try my best. He was diagnosed with polycythemia vera. I probably butcher that, okay? But it's some form, as he describes it, it's the Animal Crossing of cancer. It's not the Dark Souls of cancer. It's one of the least deadliest form of cancer, basically, is what he's trying to say. I think he says that just to downplay that, you know, okay, yeah, I did say I have cancer, but, you know, it's the lame cancer, the thing cancer, so don't worry about it, bruh. But like I said, it's super weird that a guy that overshares everything, literally overshares everything, and in a documentary, as I was saying, he starts, at one point in the documentary, he starts naming out all his medical conditions, like everything that he has. And he goes into this pity party of like, yeah, I brought it onto myself, but you shouldn't be sorry for me. But at the same time, if you could give me some money, you know. He's such a weird guy, dude. He's a guy that's like a fortunate screw up, because this guy, I think, has 4 million subs or like 3 million subs on his channel. This guy had a career, a good career, once upon a time. You know what I mean? And he kind of blew it all off. You know, he kind of screwed it all by himself, and he recognizes that. At the same time, while he plays the pity party on himself, he's also e-begging for money, which comes into this more recent crypto scam. And in this recent crypto scam, he was paid $10,000 to promote this coin, which is obviously like a pump and dump scheme. And it was very obvious that it was that. And he promoted it saying, you know, buy this fatty coin and lose some money like me. He promoted it ironically. You know what I mean? This is a shit coin, bro. Buy it if you don't want to be rich. You know, it's not gonna work. But still buy it. You know what I mean? And he did this for $10,000. He did this for $10,000. Now in the podcast, I'm talking about the Long Cow podcast, they actually offer him more money than that to reveal his medical records. And he stood on that hill and said, no, I have my dignity. I am Boogie. Who do you think I am? Okay? Yeah, Boogie is the guy that sits on a bathtub naked in a documentary or begs on his knees to Kingstar. He's the guy that has no shame. But all of a sudden, when he has to prove something, it's like, no, I got more dignity than that. I'm not gonna show my medical records because I don't have to, because you guys are not gonna believe it anyway, and a bunch of other bullshit and justifications just to not show his freaking medical record. And here's the funny thing, dude. Good old Cancer Jim was in that podcast talking with him. I'm talking about Mr. Medicare, which has cancer. And Medicare actually made a stream, and he showed his medical records. He showed that he had cancer. And in the podcast, he explained exactly how his whole process went. And more than that, if you watch the podcast, he's acted like a little hurt baby bunny. He's like, oh no, I'm done with the internet. I'm done with this podcast. I'm done with everything. I don't have to do anything. I'm just gonna sell my house and be homeless. I don't buy for a second that a guy as shameless as Boogie is not willing to divulge his medical records, especially when he's the one that said he had cancer in the first place. He's the one that has divulged all his medical conditions in the past. This guy seems like the person on the bus that will tell you everything that's wrong in their life unprompted, but he does that for the internet, for everybody to see. And the thing is, when you actually want to question it and say, dude, show the medical records of all of that, he's like, nope, I got some dignity. You guys are wrong, and you're gonna see at the end that you were wrong. It's so stupid, because at one point they keep raising more money just to find out, just for him to expose his medical records. They went from like 25K to 50K to what I saw at the end of the stream was like they were offering him 75K just to expose his medical records. And as they were saying on the stream, not only would this earn him 75K, it would show that he wasn't lying, and it would shut everybody up. It would show that everybody that was doubting him about his cancer was just an asshole. So talk about a win-win, right? And he still refused to do it, dude. Listen, I don't know if he's lying. I can't prove it. You know what I mean? Maybe he does have cancer. But let's say he does have cancer. This guy would rather leave the internet, go homeless, lose all his internet income, right? He says he's never gonna be in the internet again. He went really dramatic, oh, woe is me, all my friends betrayed me, nobody believes me. He does this a lot. And this is not the first time that he said he was gonna leave the internet too. And their content is just about their lives. And they invite people into their lives. And the problem with that is when you invite people into your lives, people start to question your life, and your life decisions. And then these people don't want to give an answer, or they get mad. But don't invite them into your life. Don't make your life your content. If you don't want to reach that personal level with your audience, make content that is not related to you in a personal level, like gaming content or commentary content, whatever. There's a bunch of content that you can make that doesn't rely on your personal life, on you sharing your personal life on the internet. But Boogie has decided to take that route. And now that he says he has cancer and he doesn't want to prove it, that's just messed up, bro. Not everybody that says they have cancer have to prove it. But with a person like Boogie that has like a questionable character, a person like Boogie that kind of milks his audience into, taking pity on him and giving him money that way, when it is this case, you kind of do have to prove it, because you have no credibility, dude. You have no credibility, and if you're lying about cancer, that shit sucks, dude. It's not a bad look. It's probably the worst thing that you have done so far, and I'm inclined to believe that's why he doesn't want to show his medical records. And Boogie just like, no, fuck you guys, I'm not gonna do it because you want me to do it, and I know I'm right, but I don't have to prove that I'm right. It's basically that, dude. And it's just, it bothers me.